Hey guys, Rob and Georgia here with you, aka VHS82 apostrophe with episode 13. Is it lucky 13? I thought I'd do something a little bit different from my crazy fives, but isn't what my crazy fives have been of late. Trying to think of different things. And so I decided I really been wanting to close out August. I think we're closing out August. I'm so far working, I'm like a month back from where you are now watching us. But I think I wanted to close out August with aquatic horror of a type. And so what it initially started as shark films quickly evolved into something a little bit different. And I think you'll like this a little bit more. So I'm calling it, for my crazy fives, Oh, Those Horrors Under the Surface. And so it doesn't necessarily just have to be a shark. It can be a number of anything, and you will see this. So, when we think of August and wrapping things up, and we think of some of our film habits, Jaws, of course, always being the top with me, having to see that a mess of times. Of course, when do I don't watch Jaws? I thought I'd, do something. So we'll start off outside looking in. A film that you may not even be aware of, which would be really awesome. But from 1978, it is a TV-made movie. And the only distribution or release to VHS I could find was a foreign distribution company, I think, called Scherzo, Scherzo. Interesting. I'm not sure the year it would have been. It's a 78 film, but it was made for TV. I'm not sure when the V8 would have found itself on VHS. And so the film is The Bermuda Depths, right? You can find this thing on Blu-ray now. It is, it's a giant turtle. I remember as a kid, I saw this probably 8 years old whenever it premiered on whether it was your Sunday night at the movies, ABC Monday night at the movies, or whatever it was. You always got up for these made-for-TV things. And there was another one known as Adrift, I think, about a guy adrift in the sea. I think he's in the sea, and a shark just keeps on harassing him for the length of the film until the very end when a helicopter finally spots him. I don't think that movie has ever seen a release of any real sort. I'm not sure. But anyways, I have real fond memories of watching this as a kid on TV. And so I was ecstatic when I found this and picked it up. And when I revisited for the first time in decades, yeah, it's like another one's going to come up in the pile. It just, it's funny. Some movies, they just aren't able to. You wonder, why did I love this movie so much? I'll say this, though. Carl Weathers is in it. And I think... oh, gee whiz. I'm just thinking, I'm not going to read the whole synopsis, but I think it takes place in the Bermuda Triangle. And somehow this turtle, this incredibly giant sea turtle, comes into their view, and when it does, there is a guy, I think, looking out after, or trying to catch it or something. It's everything is going off of Jaws back then, right? And so this sea turtle ends up doing some havoc. But this, when I revisited it, it definitely is not the movie I remember as a kid. But then again, our memories are so weird as kids. But I'd at least look it up, check it out. If you're into new stuff, old stuff, vintage stuff you haven't ever seen, or you sort of had a vague memory, like me having seen on TV when I was a kid, check it out online and see if it's something I might be worth. Giant sea turtles swim amok, I guess. I don't know. It's interesting. So anyways, top 5. Let's do this. Vestron Video first put this out probably right around 88 is when this film was released. This is a Dick Maas film. I'm telling you, man. So we go from sea turtles to serial killers using the Dutch canal system, Amsterdam. This movie, man. This movie. I'll just give you a little bit here. A predator has surfaced from the canals of Amsterdam, leaving a trail of gruesomely dismembered bodies in Dick Maas's high-octane, heart-stopping, cold slasher thriller. This has got to easily have one of the best powerboat chases through a intersecting canal system I have ever seen in a movie. This movie, it blew my mind away. Amsterdam. I'm trying to remember the end here. I really need to revisit this. But this guy, man, it's like Jack the Ripper. If Jack the Ripper utilized the canal system and found his prey, and then came up out of the murky water and the darkness of night, attacked somebody right there on the city street, and then got back in the canal and swam to safety in terms of never being caught. And so, boy, if you've never seen Amsterdam, this is definitely. It needs to be seen, man. It needs to be seen. Amsterdam from 1988. So from sea turtles to a serial killer, let's go to man messing with the environment. Warner put this first out on VHS. This is the 1980 film. Barbara Peters. Some of you may know where I'm going now. Yeah, Humanoids from the Deep, or as it also was just simply known as Monster. Such an absolute, it's a Roger Corman cult classic. You probably know that artwork much better. Dude, this was one of the great views as a kid. I just remember, I don't know how I saw this on TV, I'm sure. But this is one of those rare Roger Corman movies, man. And I shouldn't say rare, but that really stayed with, man, in a big, big way. And I was so glad, Shout Factory put this out under their Roger Corman cult classic sub-label, I guess. This is fun. This is a lot of fun. Why man ought not to be messing with the environment the way he does from time to time. Maybe more than time to time. Humanoids from the Deep. So from, and that was 19, I'm sorry, I didn't even say, Vestron put it out. It is a, I'm sorry, I'm moving ahead. I'm getting ahead of myself. So number 3, another one full of childhood memories. And when I first revisited this, it just, the end especially did not go down I seem to remember an incredible finish. And I don't know, man. 1979, Vestron put this out. Charles B. Griffith film. Got it, again, another Roger Corman cult classic. This one is part of a double feature, and I'm not even sure I've seen the other film yet. But this one, man, I have incredible memories of seeing as a kid. It just didn't live up, man. In some ways, at least. Up from the Depths. That side. Up from the Depths. If you remember the poster is pretty iconic. Just see if this, and I'll say these double features, man, that Shouts put out, the menu screens are insane. They really, really, really look good. It does have some fun moments, but it's, as a kid, I guess I just thought the end was sort of like, for me as a kid, the end was sort of like that Jaws finale, and it just wasn't like that. It was kind of weird, but a prehistoric shark staff and vacationers at a first-class resort on the island of Mull are beginning to mysteriously disappear. Biologist believes that an underwater earthquake has caused a giant and very hungry, dormant prehistoric fish to be released from its slumber. Up from the Depths. I'll say this. I would love to have a 27 by 40 whatever poster framed on the wall. That is an iconic poster from my childhood. Up from the Depths. So from sea turtles to serial killers to the environment run amok to a prehistoric shark unleashed from its watery holding cell, whatever. Let's do some zombies, man. From 1977, Star Maker first put this out. Blue Underground put out a great DVD. Released Ken Wiederhorn, Shockwaves. Was that Peter Cushing? Peter Cushing, pretty sure Peter Cushing is in this. Brooke Adams, John Carradine, and also the kid who played the boy in Flipper, grown up now, is in this. In the dark days of World War II, the Nazi High Command ordered its scientists to create a top secret race of indestructible zombie stormtroopers. Now, they've been lying in dormant, and of course, our visitors who happen to run amok of this island out in the middle of the ocean, they sort of awaken this Nazi experiment. And Peter Cushing, basically says, you don't got much time to get off this island. In fact, it's probably already too late. And so when they come up out of the water, man, some of the cinematography, this is a fun movie. Nazi zombie, underwater zombies, done really well, man. I wish I had a memory of seeing this at the drive-in. I can't remember if we did or not. But this definitely is one of the better Nazi zombies films that have come out. Shockwaves. Such a great movie, man. Such a great movie. And so that brings us to number one. Now we're going to go back to maybe possibly the mother of all threats, to early on in history to emerge from the water, and maybe go down as one of the greatest Universal, well, you already know it now, Universal characters or monsters. Jack Arnold film, MCA Universal put it out. This is a 1954 film. Of course, Creature from the Black Lagoon. You don't get any more classic film than this. And even its follow-ups were really good. But surely I'm not speaking to anyone that's never seen Creature from the Black Lagoon. I mean, so, instead of running just a shark theme or whatever, here's an idea to do something a little bit different if you've got the time. You start with the perhaps the mother of all classic Universal monsters, and then you run to some Nazi underwater Nazis, super soldiers with some Peter Cushing, John Carradine in there, to a prehistoric shark unleashed in some cheesy Roger Corman film, to again the environment run amok in producing something as a result of man's tampering, classic stuff, to a serial killer using Amsterdam's canals as a means of preying on would-be victims. The boat chase in this thing in the canals is one for the ages, man. And if you're in the mood for a sea turtle that is sort of in your, your Jaws / Orca, probably more along the lines of Orca, maybe. I only revisited this once since I picked it up. I haven't really had the desire to watch. I remember it being a really long, just feeling like it was a really long movie. It's interesting, though. It's different, though. The Bermuda, it came up from the Bermuda depths. So there you go. A cross-section of some interesting horrors that lie just underneath the surface, waiting to break out and consume that which it looks to consume, I guess. So anyways, Crazy Fives. I think right now we're at the end of August. If there's any way I can squeeze one more out going into September, I'm looking at songs used in film, but perhaps looking at it from the point of view of everyone in my family and our favorite moments when a song drove a particular scene in a particular film. So something to look forward to, plus other ideas that just happen to creep in there. As always, go Bills.
This is not a dream. Not a dream. We might be useful to